Hey everybody, it's Carla with Carla's Clever Crafts. Um, Logging on today. Happy Friday, everybody. We're going to do a wreath with this cute little flamingo. You make a cute summer design. This is a wreath kit that I have in my shop with the sign and the ribbons that you'll see me using tonight if anybody's interested in that. We're going to start with prepping the sign. This sign is a little bit thicker on the thicker side, so I want to, I'm not going to be able to hole punch it, I don't think. I think it's just a little bit too thick for that. So I'm going to use my glue and ribbon scrap piece trick to attach it with some pipe cleaners. So I'm just going to cut off the string that comes on it to hang it. And then I'm going to attach at the top and the bottom. So I have two pipe cleaners. I basically just fold those in half and make like a little V. And that's where I'm going to glue it or attach it to my sign. I'm going to use two different glues. I'm going to use this DAP Rapid Fuse. This cures completely in 30 minutes. And then I'm also going to add a touch of hot glue to the top of this and cover it with a piece of scrap ribbon to secure it down and make sure that it holds. So I'm just going to take my scrap ribbon and cut two little pieces because we don't need great big pieces for this. And then this was wired ribbon, and we don't need the wires on there for this purpose either, so I'm going to cut those off. Click my chat on. Is it on my business page, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't have to check that then. Okay. So we just need two little squares, maybe not even as big as these. I'm going to first take my DAP and I'll start down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to put like a little square of it. And I come in, I don't do it right on the edge of my sign. I come in about a half an inch to an inch. I'm going to go ahead and put it there as well. And then I'm going to take this other piece of ribbon that I had, and I'm just going to wipe my glue off so that my lid doesn't get stuck. Then I'm going to take this little V point and put it in the DAP. Take my hot glue and just put a squirt right on top of the V. Put my piece of fabric on top of that. And then make sure that for this part you use something to protect your fingers. And then I just take this fabric, and you don't have to use ribbon scraps. You can use a scrap of fabric or whatever you have on hand. And I'm just going to press this down really good, spread out the glue, and that will help to secure that when it dries completely. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I do the hot glue just to give it a temporary hold while the permanent glue sets up. Sticking to my finger, wanting to pull loose. I did order a staple gun, so going forward, hopefully soon I will have that, and I'll be able to just staple these pipe cleaners on. But this is a trick if you are, especially if you're new and starting out and you can't afford all the extra gadgets and things to make your wreath. This is a trick that you can always do, usually with just products that you already have around the house. Okay, and then I'm going to just trim off. This is sticking up a little bit, so I'm going to trim this off. This extra ribbon. And then we'll lay this to the side and let that glue set up completely while we work on the rest of our wreath. Okay. And I had St. Patrick's Day ribbon, a scrap piece laying by, so that's why I used it. You can use, like I said, whatever kind you have on hand. I'll turn my glue gun off for now. Clean up my glue mess. I'm just going to put that in my glue pot. Glue everywhere. Okay. Okay, so we're going to use our 14-inch wire frame. I've again wired this with 18 pipe cleaners. The chat is not working. Is the video working?
Yeah.
Okay, my chat is just spinning for some reason. Okay, I can't see messages. I'm hoping that'll load here soon. But you guys go ahead and comment, please, and tell me what you think. And
Shannon says hi.
Hi, Shannon. Thank you for joining me. Or we'll have my husband narrate. That would work too. Okay, so we have 18 pipe cleaners. We have 6 on the inside and 12 on the outside. In each section between the crossbars, there are 6 sections. I have 1 on the inside, 2 wires in the middle, and then 2 on the outside wires. Okay, so that's how we do that. And then I also, I'm thinking that I'm going to add some florals and some greenery to this. I have this greenery with like the yellow tips that kind of matched our sign. And then I also have the greenery with the pink. I'm not sure on these yet, so we've got them here handy. We'll decide once we get it all put together what we think. It's like our internet connection is bad or something. Oh, the storm. Okay, and once again, here's our cute little sign. It says welcome, and it's a flamingo. She's really cute with her sunglasses and drinking her summer drink. We're going to use pink and blue mesh. This is a blue poly mesh. It's kind of like it's between a turquoise and a light blue. And then this is a pink metallic mesh that we're going to use. Both of these are kind of lightweight. Believe it or not, the poly mesh is a little bit heavier, it feels like, than the pink. So we're going to put this on 18 pieces of this, 1 in each pipe cleaner, and we're going to see what it looks like and decide if we needed to add more. Okay. Will you let me know if anybody says anything, honey? Hi, Linda. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys are having a good Friday evening. Okay, so we're going to do cruffles. And I know I do these a lot, but I did play around today, and I actually came up with a technique that is kind of like my own mesh method. So I think I'm going to play around with it a little bit and then show that to you guys in one of my lives soon. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so we're just going to roll the beginning here. I roll mine over 4 times, and we're just going to put a little clip. Just makes it easier for us. You don't have to have a clip. You can do it without, if that's easier for you. Lots of people do. I just find I like my curls to be smaller, and the clip helps me to get them smaller and keep them smaller as I'm designing. Okay, do the same thing on the other end. And I'm going to turn these guys face down, I think. Scrunch down the middle.
Shannon says she's glad you're on at 4.
I'm on at 4.
Yeah, she's glad because she'd be driving.
Oh, she's got I didn't go on at 4.
No, she said, I'm glad you're on now.
Right, it's 6. Well, I'm glad that it worked out. I'm going to definitely set a schedule where I do at least one on at least one day a week where I do 6 o'clock. So I still haven't figured out my permanent schedule. I hope to do that by this weekend. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one we start on. I just started here in the middle on the inside one, and I'm pasting my finished edges to the inside and outside of my wreath form. And today I am going to actually work in order of the way the pipe cleaners are laid on the wreath. So I'll go ahead and pull those to the outside and pull up my next one. So we're just going to go in order. I did this one first, then we'll do these two and this one and all the way around. And we're going to rotate our collars.
You didn't do this one live today, did you?
Honey, you've got an echo going.
That's outside.
Okay, I don't know what he's doing over there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we're just going to curl each end again. Stretch it in the middle. All of these are going to face the same direction, finished edge to the inside and outside. Now, if I decide this is not thick enough and we need to add some more mesh, we may turn it in opposite direction. We'll see.
I was just going to let them see your beautiful wreath you did.
Oh, my husband wants you guys to see the wreath that I did earlier that I didn't do live.
It's a new one.
This is the one I did with the new technique on the bottom layer. So hopefully I'm going to play around with that a little bit more, and hopefully we'll be doing something similar to that soon. Okay, so I have the rest of my cruffles made. I'm going to go ahead and lay them in. Of course, I put my collars in the wrong order. Okay. The flamingos have really been flying out of my shop, so they are definitely popular this year. I try to go live when I'm home alone, but in the evening times, of course, my grandson and my husband are here, so we'll have some additional company. I wish my internet was working better. We've been having storms here today, so I think that is why my comment section is not loading. I'm just grateful that the video is working, though. Maybe before we're finished, it will actually load so I can see them. Right now, I just have the little white circle spinning. And Shannon, I was so happy to see that you went live. I just hated that it was while I was out planting my garden, so I didn't get to. I watched it after the fact, and it was fabulous. I was very surprised when I clicked onto Facebook and it said Shannon was live. I think my schedule is going to be probably a couple times a week at 4 o'clock. And then I'm going to, like I said, try to do one at 6 o'clock. And then the rest I'm still uncertain about. Probably a weekend one at 2 o'clock because I had a request for that. And then the rest I'm not too sure about. When I get the schedule made, though, I'll tag everybody in it. So hopefully you guys will be able to see the schedule. I really like this pink and blue together. It's pretty. It is kind of sheer, though, it looks like, when you hold it up and look at it. So I'm thinking we are going to add some more cruffles. And I don't have the extra cruffles made in advance, so we'll have to make those real quick, but it won't take too long. When I first cut this mesh, I thought it would be thick enough, but then today when I was actually making the cruffles, I realized that maybe I was going to want more. I think we could get away with it as it is with the ribbons added, but I just want to make sure that none of the frame is going to show. Okay, we got 2 more here. Put the glue in. And then I'm just going to adjust these to fix them so that all of our curls and ruffles are laying the same way. So that's what we have so far. Now I need to decide. I think before I put my next piece of mesh on, I'm going to add some ribbon tails. So I'm going to move these inside pipe cleaners up just so I don't accidentally put ribbon in there before I'm ready, because that's where I'm going to put my extra pieces of mesh, and then we'll add more ribbon to that later. So right now I'm going to put ribbon just in these 6 pipe cleaners, or I'm sorry, 12 pipe cleaners on the outside 2 rings. No, that's not really how I wanted to do it. I wanted to do them all together. Indecisive, sorry. Okay, maybe we'll go ahead and put our mesh pieces in next, and then decide how I'm going to lay out the ribbons. So now I'm going to pull these back out, because I didn't want to do 2 layers of ribbon on this one. I actually wanted to do 1 layer of ribbon with 2 ribbons together. So let's see. All right, let's go ahead and do some cruffles and add in our extra mesh, and then we'll go from there. We're not doing this many. I had cut these for another project, and I'm just going to take 3 of the pink, because it's the exact same mesh that we used, and 3 of the blue. And then we'll just make cruffles real quick and add these. These 6 cruffles I am going to add to the inside pipe cleaners. So the 6 pipe cleaners that are on the inside 2 rings. So I'll start right here, and I am going to turn these the opposite direction. So I'm going to put the finished edge to the right and the left. This way the cruffles are going to run right around with the frame and ensure that I have good coverage. Okay. Next, we need to do a blue. I should have planned this out a little bit better ahead of time, I guess. I just wasn't sure how I wanted to do it until I've seen it put together or started. And in my real work when I'm designing, this is more realistic to what I do than being all perfectly pre-planned ahead of time. A lot of it is just experimenting. Okay. Now we need to do pink. And I don't always put scissors on my mesh. I do that when I'm live so that it makes it easier for you guys to see. So I'm just going to try to run through these real quick and get them on. I'm so sad my comments aren't on there. Thank you guys all for joining me. I really appreciate the support. And I love chatting with everybody, so that's why I'm sad. Okay. I put that in the wrong pipe cleaner, so I'm going to move it over to the correct one, which is the pipe cleaner that's on the inside of the frame. Need a pink. And our last one will be the blue. Okay, so that makes it nice and thick. Definitely, we cannot see, once the ribbon tails are on there, we're definitely not going to be sure not to see any of the wireframe underneath. And that's what we have so far. And this is what those collars look like with our flamingo. I went with the blue because there's like a little bit of blue in the sunglasses and then in the glass that he's drinking out of. And I had a pink and green and a pink and yellow design. So this one I went with pink, yellow, and blue. So we'll see how that turns out. Now let's make a decision on the ribbons. We're going to be using 4 ribbons, which does come with the sign if you order from my shop. We're going to use this adorable, one of my favorite flamingo ribbons is the yellow with the pink. It's got pink polka dots and pink stitching. That's a 2.5-inch ribbon, and my ribbons are all cut to 12 inches long. Mesh pieces were all cut to 18 inches long. Then we have this 2.5-inch polka dot ribbon. And then we have 2 1.5-inch. We have a light pink and a yellow. Okay, I just need to decide. I know I'm going to do... I may do, I think I'm going to do something different tonight. I'm going to do the flamingo and the light pink on the top, all on the top. So that means on these bottom ones that I kind of skipped over, I'm going to rotate the pink and white polka dot and the yellow. So these will be like the bottom layer. So we could have added those before we added the top pieces of mesh, which would have made this a little bit easier. But since I couldn't decide what to do, we're just going to now lift up our pieces of mesh, go to these bottom pipe cleaners, and put them in. I'm doing one ribbon per pipe cleaner, and I'm going to rotate them. Let's see what this pink and yellow and blue turns out like. Okay, so now we're going to do the pink polka dot. I think this pink polka dot ribbon is so fun. I've noticed I've been using a lot of polka dots in my designs this year too. For some reason, I've just really been taken with the polka dots. And when I do that, I just want to make sure that I put my crumples back where they belong. So, because when I lift those up to add the ribbon underneath, I am moving them around and kind of messing up the design a little bit. So just want to make sure that I position those back after I add the ribbon. So I'm just lifting it up. I'm going to try to do this from the angle where you all can see. I don't know if I can work upside down. Placing it down in the pipe cleaner, just like I always do, and tying it off. Pushing it down in and squeezing it to secure my ribbon, and then just fan out my ribbon tails. I always push up on the inside here and then curl the outside kind of down. And then we'll come over here and do this one, which will be the pink. And I'm just V'ing it back towards myself, getting the edges, trying to make sure my edges are even. Try to do this upside down one more time. Fix my ribbons. And then make sure that I take my crumples and fix those back down. So just like that. That crumple was messed up before I even started, so glad we're going to be fixing it. Now I need another pink. So unlike other designs you've probably seen me do, I'm using all of these ribbons on the bottom layer, and then I'm going to use two totally different ribbons on the top layer. And I decided to do that because I want all the flamingos to go around my flamingo sign. You could also do, achieve the same thing if you only used these two ribbons, but I like the fact that we're going to have the darker pink and the yellow woven throughout the design, as opposed to just laying on top of the design. I'm going to try one more time to load these chats. The storm passed quite a while ago. It doesn't seem like it should still be affecting the internet. Okay, we just got 4 more of these. Okay, our last 2. Oh, the light went off. Technology is not my friend. Always have some kind of technology issue. Now my lights are turning off. Okay, so here's what we have with the bottom ribbon tails with the pink polka dot and the yellow going all the way around. And we've already put in our top layer of cruffles, so we're going to be ready to go ahead and add our top layer of ribbons. I'm going to real quick step back here and turn that light back on because I have enough trouble seeing with the light. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna do my X pattern on the top. Our flamingo is tall, but our sign is kind of narrow. So I'm going to do the X pattern so that some of those ribbons go up in towards the flamingo. And I'm just clipping it off and pinching it down in there and squeezing it, and then I just adjust the ribbon so it lays the way I want it to. And since I'm putting all the flamingos around the flamingo sun, I do want to try to keep it going in the same direction. It is one directional. So we have this one going up and down. This is sometimes challenging for me when I have it laying flat. It's easier if you put your ribbons in while it's like it will actually hang on the door. But we'll see if I can manage here. Okay, so that one still needs to go in this direction. So I'm just going to scrunch up the middle and make an X. And try to pay attention when I lay it in here to make sure it is going in the same direction and that I don't accidentally rotate it when I'm placing it. Okay, now this next one, I'm going to need to lay it the opposite way for my X. So I'm still going to put it on top, but I'm going to face it. Instead of the flamingo going this way, I have it going this way with the top of it to the right. Crunch it into my X, and then again, kind of pay attention to make sure I have it going the right way when I lay it down in there. Okay, so far we have all three going the same direction, not standing on their heads. Okay, this next one needs to be the same way with the top of the flamingo ribbon to the right. And then again, place it down in, careful not to change the way that it's laying. Okay, we're good on that one. So then the one at the top will also go with the flamingo to the right at the top. So basically when we're doing this right side, we want to put the top of our one directional ribbon to the right. And when we're doing the left side, we want to do the opposite with the one directional ribbon top to the left. And then as long as we don't rotate them when we actually place them on the wreath, they should all be going in the same direction. Okay, so our last one is over here to the left top of the wreath. So we need the top of our flamingo ribbon facing to the left. And again, make sure we don't rotate it when we're placing it in.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Okay, so guys, I think I successfully have all of our flamingos going in the right direction. This is what it looks like so far. Look at our sign. It should be good and dry by now. Yes, everything's holding pretty sturdy. So again, when you place your sign on, because this is a mistake that I have made, I can't even tell you how many times. We just spent all that time making sure our flamingos was going in the same direction and not standing on their head. So when we put our sign, we want to make sure that the sign is also facing the same direction as our ribbons. And then I'm going to turn this around towards me so I can make sure I have it centered. I'm just going to feed the pipe cleaner down through, and because of where I attached it on the sign, I'll be attaching to the inside rings, the inside two rings on the frame. I'm going to fix my curls here. I don't want to mash these in. I kind of want them to frame around the sign. I'm going to twist it a couple times, but then I'm going to come back and or go up to the other side and do it. Make sure I keep everything centered. I don't like where that leg is laying. That's a little bit better. Just turn it around. I'm going to pull up on it a little bit, so try to get it moved up a little higher. I'm actually going around the middle two rings on the frame with the top part of it here. I'm going to hold it up and look at it and see. I might even move it up more. Yes, it needs moved up more. So I'm going to undo the bottom. I knew there was something about the leg I was not liking. my pipe cleaners for the bottom ones to reach. So I'm going to start with the head and attach it around the outside 2 rings on the top. That is better. Okay. Now let me see. I'm not sure if these pipe cleaners are going to reach the bottom ring now that I moved it up that much. So let me test this out. It does still reach. So we're going to be good there. We don't have to extend them. To adjust my curls. And I usually, when I hang it on my door, do more adjusting. So that's good for now. We'll go ahead and tighten down the bottom. And then I do the same thing when I attach a sign with pipe cleaners that I do with wire. I just wrap the end of it around up inside the wreath form. Because pipe cleaners also have sharp ends, so just push those sharp ends up to the inside. Okay, well, here we go, guys. This is what our finished wreath looks like. Let me know what you guys think of it. I'm sorry I can't see your comments. Maybe I'll try to pull them up on here real quick. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to get feedback from my phone. Hold on. There we go. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the colors. Oh, you're right, Shannon. Candy cane. No, it does look like candy cane. I know you talked about me. I heard that. And you talked about how organized I am. I'm going to have to do a live to show you how wrong you are about my organization skills. I am not organized. I just put on a good show when I'm on live, I guess. Thank you, Linda. That looks like a tutu with just the mesh. Oh, you just came up with a really good idea there, Shannon. You do a whole design around using mesh as a tutu. That's a good idea. That is the same ribbon as the mouse. Yep. Thank you, Cindy, for watching. Okay, if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Even if you think of them later, I usually check back and try to answer everybody. If you're watching on replay, put #replay to let me know so I can thank you for supporting me. And also, if you have questions, even during replay, like I said, I do check back several times on my lives to answer questions or when I get notifications. So, okay, you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you the time. Every time I do, it's wrong. But if you go to my business page and look at my events, it will give you the time as well as the design that I'm going to be making. And on YouTube, I also have events scheduled that you can see the design and the time that I will be live the next day. All right. Have a great one.